Hey there, my name is Amber and I'm so thrilled that you've made your way to my yoga videos. So most of these videos I do on Facebook Live first before I post them here on YouTube. So if you'd like to do them with me live, follow me at Kaleidoscope Yoga on Facebook and on Instagram for dates and times. But in the meantime, grab yourself a mat, some blocks, a blanket, maybe even a bolster, whatever it's going to take to make your practice accessible and comfortable for you, and I'll meet you on the mat. Thanks for being here. We're going to go ahead and take our hands behind our head, right here. And you're just going to take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to open through the chest, let the elbows go out to the side, let the head rest back. Continue with your breathing. And just really allow the head to relax into the hands. And then we're going to take another deep inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to draw the elbows towards each other. Let the chin move to the floor, or towards your chest. And just softly, not really pulling down, but just resting the hands right where they are. And find that intention, that lengthening through the spine, and just kind of enjoy this little stretch through the back of the neck. And then take an inhale, opening the elbows, lifting the chin, finding a nice little stretch through the chest. Welcome back, guys. Sorry about that little glitch. And as you exhale, you're going to rotate down again, elbows towards one another. Now they're not going to touch. Chin to chest, lengthen through the spine, let the shoulders relax. And then one more time, we're just going to take an inhale and open the arms again. And see if you can pull the shoulder blades kind of down the back and towards one another, activating that space in the back. And then go ahead and unclasp the hands, and we're just going to stretch them out to the sides, lengthening through the arms, making that little stop motion with the hands. Getting a nice stretch through the under part of the arm here. You can open and close the fingers. Just kind of experimenting with a little bit of movement here. And then go ahead and point the fingers down. Relax the shoulders. And you can draw the fingertips towards your elbows, just to get a little bit deeper stretch, kind of moving in that space with the hands. Good. Go ahead and round through the wrist, drop the arms down. Find a little movement in the shoulders. Pause for just a second, take a breath or two. And then let's drop our right ear to our right shoulder. nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're going to let your chin move to the chest. And then inhale, roll the ear back to the left. And then we're just going to do that to the opposite side. So take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, dropping chin to chest, and then inhaling, rolling back to the right. And then bring the head back above the heart space. Let's go ahead and switch our feet. If you haven't already. Bring those hands down by our sides, and we're just going to find some a nice stretch through the side body. So taking an inhale, right hand's going to reach to the sky. And let's hang here for just a second, and we're going to reach with the fingertips. And we're not necessarily lifting up through the shoulders. We're just finding some brightness through the arm and up through the fingers. And then the right hip is going to relax down towards the floor. So right now we're just kind of opening up a little bit more through the front body. And then we're going to take an inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to go ahead and reach to the left, keeping that right hip centered on the ground. And let's take a couple of breaths here, and we're going to move our neck around a little bit. So as we inhale, we're going to draw the nose towards our elbow pit. And then as we exhale, we're going to take the nose and look down at your left hand. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling, look up. Exhale, look down. 1 more time. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale down. Take a nice deep inhale here, and as you exhale, we're going to bring that right hand to our left hand. And it doesn't matter if it reaches, we're just bringing it in that direction, but we're just trying to get a nice little stretch across the shoulders. So maybe fingertips touch your, well, I kind of want it to go a little bit farther than your knee, getting a little bit deeper stretch there, but you do what's comfortable. And then as we take our next inhale, we're going to windmill our right hand up and exhale, float it to the floor. Good. Anchor down the right hand on the floor. Inhale, left hand to the sky. Set yourself up over here. We're not lifting through the shoulder, but we're finding that brightness through the arm and the hand, through the fingers, and letting that left hip kind of move to the floor. Find your stability here, and then take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, let's find that nice side stretch. And we don't want to dump into the right shoulder, so use your hand for stability here too. And then let's do that breath work here. So we'll inhale towards the elbow pit, and we'll exhale and look down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time, inhale up. And go ahead and look down. Pause here. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to float that left hand down towards the right hand. Maybe it goes as far as the knee. I am clearly much stiffer on this side. I can't even reach the floor. Woo. So we just kind of meet ourselves where we are. We don't need to push or pull or anything like that. We just find the space that feels good and comfortable. And maybe a little tight. A little tight is okay. We just don't want pain. So then when you're ready to come up, you're going to engage softly in the belly, and we're going to windmill on an inhale all the way up. And let it go. Exhale down. Perfect. Let's inhale, fingertips to the sky. And we're going to exhale to the right. Inhale, fingertips up. And exhale to your left. We're just going to kind of go with a flow here. So if your inhales and exhales don't match mine, that's fine. Just keep it going. Inhale up, exhale down. And really allow that exhale to fully release before you begin your inhale. You guys remember when the wave was like so popular? If you'd go to concerts or baseball games or whatever, everybody would do the wave. All right, so we begin on our right. So let's go ahead and end on the left. So wherever you are, take your time and just pause on the left side. I'll take a few moments here. Make sure everybody gets caught up. And then when you're ready, just come back to center. So good. Let's find our tabletop position, please. Keep your blocks close by if you think you might like to use them. We're going to spread those fingertips out nice and wide. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And a little tip that I learned a couple of weeks ago, and it has just really changed the game for me as far as the foundation in this shape, in downward facing dog especially. And all that is shifting the inner part of your wrist down towards the floor. So you're rolling it into your body, and you might feel that your thumb kind of makes a little bit more contact with the floor, which is what we want. And it also takes the pressure off the whole wrist when you're just pushing that space down in there. All right, so let's take a couple of cat-cows while we're here. So dropping the belly down, we're going to take a deep inhale, gaze and hips lift up. And then as you exhale, pulling belly button to spine, letting the tailbone kind of start the movement all the way to the head. Pressing up through the arms, stretching through the shoulders, and then inhale, dropping back to cow. And exhale. And again, if your breath doesn't match mine, by all means, follow your breath. Keep it going. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. And while you're doing this, I mean, just don't do the movement. See if you can feel the muscle stretch. Notice what's a little tight. Send a little love to that space. Notice what feels really good. Be grateful for that. And then let's do one more round. And then when you get into your cat, this last time, stay there, letting the head relax, press through the palms, bring those toes together. We're going to widen the knees, and we're going to just roll it back and come into a child's pose for just a second, stretching through the arms. And then engage the belly, come on back up. And then we're going to do some big circles in the hips. So dropping the hips down, circling around. And you can come forward as far or as little as you'd like. Try not to face plant. And just circle one direction 3 times. Big circle. See all of the body parts that you can feel stretching and moving, and maybe some of these parts haven't moved in days, and holy cow, it just feels so good to get a little bit of oxygen and blood flowing to these muscles. So if you haven't already, switch it up. So we're rotating in the wrists here, we're rotating in the hips, we're stretching through the sides and the arms. And then I've done my 3 and 3. I'm coming right back to center. I'm going to draw my knees in. I'm going to turn my toes under, and I'm going to lift my knees just a little bit, maybe like an inch. right? And you might have to maneuver your feet just a little bit. And remember, we're pressing down in the inner part of the wrist. This is going to start to fire up through the belly. So engage the belly a little bit here. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, we're going to press back with the arms. We're not going into down dog. And then bring yourself forward on an inhale. Take another inhale here. Exhale back. Should feel a little fire in the thighs maybe. Bring it back forward. One more time. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale, float it back. And bring it forward on an inhale. Drop those knees and go ahead and drop the legs behind you. We're just going to drop into a little upward dog here. And if this is too much, come down into baby cobra. We're just going to stretch the front of the body here a little bit. You can, in a traditional up dog, you lift the thighs up. So if you're in a position to do that, you're more than welcome to. And then drop those knees. Take a child's pose one more time. Give those wrists a little love if they need it. And then go ahead and come on back to your tabletop. We're going to move into a little bit of a flow, and it's going to rotate around the mat. So there is going to be a point where you're not facing me, but that's okay. It's going to be the same thing we're going to do as you face the camera. So go ahead and get that foundation set up in the hands. Turn the toes under and find your downward facing dog. Pressing up through the arms, making sure that our elbows are not bent. And we have a gentle external rotation through the shoulders. So you can kind of move your biceps in almost as if it's going to kind of pinch your nose a little bit. Pressing that inner wrist down. Walk your dog if you haven't already. All right. Dropping that right heel down, let's take an inhale, left heel high, find your three-legged dog. You can rotate through the ankle for a second here, drop into that right heel just a little bit more. Take a nice deep breath, and when you're ready to exhale, draw that left foot forward. And if you need to, you can come down first, draw the leg forward, and then come back into your lunge. So we're going to move into our warrior two. So back foot comes parallel to the back of the mat. Take a nice deep inhale and move into your warrior two, relaxing those shoulders down your back. Make any weird adjustments you need to your clothing. And take a peek at your knee in the front, please. Just look down, make sure you can see your toes, and we're not dumping into that leg. And in our warrior two, we always want to be connected to that back leg as well. Fingertips are bright, straight out from the shoulders. Go ahead and look over your left fingertips for just a moment. So we're going to add on to this, but for now, we're just going to come into warrior two. And then we're going to kind of shift our footing, and we're going to keep a wide stance, but your back heel is going to come in. So we kind of come to horse stance or goddess pose, right? So we're in this squat. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, hands to the sky, straighten the legs out. And exhale, come back down. Perfect. Left foot comes parallel, right foot is going to point to the back of the mat, so we're just doing the opposite. You got it. We're going to hang here for just a second. Check that knee again, the right knee this time. Good. So we're just going to make our way back down to the mat. So hands are going to frame your front foot, and you're going to bring that right foot back. We're going to find our downward facing dog. Find a little stretch here. Place that left or right heel towards the floor. Take a nice deep inhale. Left foot reaches up. Exhale, draw it forward. We're going to find that Warrior two again, so back foot comes parallel to the back of the mat, or the front of the mat, I guess. Relax those shoulders, find your warrior two, nice and strong. And then from here, just a little bit of adjustment in the feet. Your right foot, the heel is going to turn in, and you're going to come back into that squat. And then when you're ready, we're going to take an inhale. Straighten the legs, bring the fingertips up to the sky. So we kind of come to a five-pointed star, reaching nice and tall. And then exhale, bring it back down. Back foot comes parallel. Right foot back to the front of the mat. And we see that we are back in warrior two. Take a nice deep inhale, and on your exhale, let's float it back down onto low lunge. And then bring the right foot back, find your downward facing dog. So we're going to add on to this a little bit. Right heel down, take an inhale, left foot high. Exhale, bring that left foot forward. Find your warrior two. You got this. Take a nice deep inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale, side angle bend. Forearm down, right hand to the sky. When you inhale, come back to warrior two. And then we're going to go ahead and come into our goddess stance. So heels move in, toes are out, knees are pointed towards your toes. Take an inhale, stretch it out big. And this time we're going to kind of sweep the hands down. And then bring them out. Inhale. Point the right toe, back foot comes parallel. We find our warrior two. Take a nice deep inhale, and we're going to cartwheel down. Bring that right foot back behind us. Find your downward facing dog. If you need to, you can take a child's pose here. Walk the feet out a little. Right heel down, lift that left leg high. And exhale, drop forward. Find your warrior two. You got this. Nice deep inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle bend. Go ahead and come on into your warrior stance. Arms are out. Take a nice deep inhale, bring the hands to the sky. And as we exhale, we're going to come into that squat and sweep the hands. Come back to standing. Right foot's bent, back foot comes parallel. We find our warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down. We've got one more round to do. Bring the feet back. Find your down dog. Or you can take a child's pose here for a breath. When you're ready, anchor down that right heel, left heel high. Bring it on through. Set up with your warrior two. One more little add-on. When you're ready, take a nice deep inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle bend. This time we're going to inhale it all the way up, straighten out that front leg, and exhale into your triangle shape. So right hip's going to kick out a little, and your left hand's going to come down to your calf or the floor. But remember, you don't want to be like this. You want a nice open space. So even if you are here, it's better off than dumping your arm down. So engaging through the belly, pressing into both feet, and maybe even finding this like little rotation in with the inner thigh here. Right shoulder's back. Good. So let's take an inhale, hands to the sky, both of them. Legs are straight, so all you got to do here is bring in those heels and come into that squat. Yeah, you got it. Relax the shoulders. Let's take an inhale, straighten it out. Exhale, sweep the arms down. and then come back, arms straight out. Straighten out that back knee and back foot parallel, front foot points to the back of the mat. Right foot points to the back of the mat. Take a nice deep inhale. When you're ready, float it on down. Right foot back. Find your downward facing dog or take a child's pose for one breath. Anchor down that right heel. Inhale, left foot up. And exhale, bring it forward. Find your warrior two. Checking in on that knee. When you're ready, peaceful warrior. Big inhale up. Exhale, side angle bend. Inhale, straighten out the front leg, reaching into peaceful warrior. And exhaling into triangle, letting that right hip kick out. Right hand to the sky. Engage the belly. And then let's go ahead and draw both hands up. Legs are straight. Come into that tall stance and then snuggle down into your lunge. Nice big inhale, straighten it up. Exhale, sweep the hands down. And bring it back up. Point your right foot forward, back foot parallel. And let's go ahead and exhale down into our lunge. And then drop the knees down. And we're all going to take a child's pose here. And just find a little bit of stillness, letting the breath focus on the back, right in between the shoulders. See if you can kind of widen that space as you breathe deeply. Side out if you need to. And then when you're ready, start to walk your hands forward. Turn the toes under. Go ahead and come into your downward facing dog. So we are just going to do that cycle one more time, just one time around, just so we can get our triangle in on the opposite leg. So dropping your left foot to the floor, your heel, take a nice deep inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, drop forward. Drop that back foot parallel to the back of the mat. We're going to find our warrior two here, nice and strong. Take an inhale, peaceful warrior, lifting the right hand up. Exhale, side angle bend, left hand to the sky. Inhale, peaceful warrior, straighten out the right leg. Exhale, kicking out the left hip this time. Right hand to the calf or the floor or a block. Left hand to the sky. And just take a peek at your left hand and make sure that it's not drawing past your body, but it's directly above your shoulder. Take an inhale, draw both hands up, both legs are straight. Come into your squat position. Take a nice deep inhale, press in through the feet, connect to the glutes and the thighs, straighten it out, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, float the hands down. Inhale, bring the hands straight out again, and we'll find our warrior two towards the back of the mat. Nice deep inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle bend. Right hand to the sky. Inhale, peaceful warrior, straighten out that leg. And exhale, drop the hand down, right hand to the sky. Nice deep inhale, bring the hands up. Go ahead and bring those heels in. Let's drop into our squat, which we should be facing the other direction, but I'm not. It's okay. Take a nice deep inhale, straighten it out. Exhale, float the hands down. And inhale, bring it up. We're going to point towards the back of the room this time. Relax the shoulders. And we're going to bring it down. This is the step I missed. Sorry about that. Go ahead and bring the feet back down. Find your downward facing dog. Bring that left foot down. Inhale, right foot high. And exhale, right foot forward. Find your warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Inhale. Reach it up. Stretch that side body. Exhale, side angle bend. Left hand up. Inhale, straighten out the leg. Right hand to the sky. Exhale, triangle. Left hip dips to the side. Dips out to the left. Opening up through the body. Check on your knees, making sure that they're not feeling any tension. Bend them a little bit if they are. Make sure you're not dumping to the outside of the front foot. Press into the big toe. And then when you're ready, take an inhale, hands to the sky. And then find your squat. Bring the hands down. Take a nice deep inhale, bring it up. And exhale, sweep the hands. Straighten it out, stay in that squat. Back foot comes parallel. Take a nice deep inhale, and we're gonna float it back down. This time, bring that right foot forward. Finding a forward fold here. And we're just gonna take a moment to sway from side to side. Whatever that means to you. And then come to center, press into the heels and roll yourself up. Big breath to the sky. Fingertips to the sky, I mean. And exhale, float the hands down. Oh. So, coming into the center of your mat. Let's try eagle for our balancing shape today. Let's come into or onto our left leg and stack all the way up, bending into that right knee. And let's start with the hands out to the side. We want to establish that balance. And if you need to, you can find that drishti on the floor. And that's just a point of concentration a few feet in front of you, something that's not going to move. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our right leg and we're going to cross it over. Now, of course, if you know eagle, if you're familiar with it, you feel safe with it, you don't have to go through all these steps. You can go to where you feel comfortable. So I just got my toe on the mat still. I'm just kind of establishing a space that feels secure. And then, before I move the leg, I'm going to take my arms and I'm going to do left over right, cross them at the elbows, and then kind of roll my hands around so my fingertips on my right hand are touching the inner part of my left palm. So as we're here, this might be enough. If this is too much, just relax your hands on top of your shoulders. Got a couple options here. We can draw the elbows up, and that'll give you a little bit of a deeper stretch. Or you can bring the hands down for a little extra balance. But before you do that, if you draw forward and you want to lift the toes of the right foot, you can, and then you can move forward if that's in your practice, or you can stay right where you are. Find a space that's comfortable, and always keep in mind our balancing poses are always, always, always different. Every day, every minute, every side. Take one more breath here. And then wherever you are, slow find yourself unwinding. Good. So before we move into the other side, let's clasp our hands behind our back. Pointer finger and thumbs rest together and just gently find an upward stretch here through the chest. We're lengthening through the front of the body, hugging in the belly to protect that low back. And just opening a little bit through the collarbones. And then go ahead and relax. Shake the arms out if you need to, and then let's go ahead and find some balance on our right side. So stacking yourself up, and really see if you can make that connection to the ground through the soles of the feet. Press in all the toes, check in on the heel. You can shift your weight back and forth if you need to really find that stable foundation. And then when you're ready, just cross the left leg over the right so the toes rest on the ground. Let's open up our arms for to help us balance just a little bit more. Find that drishti on the ground. Take a breath or two just to center yourself. And then when you're ready, we're going to draw right arm over left. So we wrap the arms around. Left fingers are on the inside of the right palm this time. Now I'm going to be honest, this doesn't feel very comfortable for me, so I am going to rest my hands on top of my shoulders. But you go on with your bad self and do whatever feels good for you. And then you can go ahead and lift up that leg if you'd like. And then you can bend down a little bit, or you can lift up your elbows, whatever feels good to you. This feels really good on my back, so I am enjoying this thoroughly. Just find your breath, sending that heat that you're cultivating down through the soles of the feet. Let that power you. Take 2 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, start to unfold. Oh. Good. So this time, do big arm circles. Take up a lot of space here. You can move the hips around if you want. Just enjoy taking up a little space. Go the opposite direction. Good. Let's make our way back to the front of the mat. Take a nice deep breath here. Fingertips up. Bring those palms together. Exhale down the midline. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Let's do 2 more flat backs. Inhale. Checking into the hamstrings, maybe an internal thigh rotation. Exhale, release. Again, inhale, flat back. And exhale, bring those hands to the ground, bend the knees generously. Go ahead and walk the knees down to the ground. And we're going to go ahead and make our way onto our backs. If you have a block, grab one, or a book, or something that you can put in between your knees. We're going to do a couple of bridge shapes. Now, putting the block in between your knees just isn't up your alley. Don't worry about it. You don't have to use it. So let's broaden the space behind our shoulders. Widen that out. Palms to the ground by your hips. Press into the soles of the feet. And then when you're ready, take an inhale and roll the hips up, pulling the thighs together. And exhale, roll it down. Let's do that 2 more times. Nice deep inhale. Connect to the legs. You can squeeze your glutes and your thighs. And exhale, release. One more time, bring it up. So I'm going to give you a choice here. We're going to hold this. Find your breath, keep it soft. If you want, you can find that bind, drawing the hands and the shoulders underneath you. Pressing into the soles of the feet, remember that. Hugging those thighs together. And just find your breath here. Relaxed in the neck. Relaxed in your belly. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Float it down. Release the hands and the shoulders very carefully. Float it down. Go ahead and move that block off to the side. Let's just hug the knees in for a moment. Rock gently from side to side. And then we're going to take a little twist here. So you're just going to rock all the way over. So you come into this little fetal position here. Now to get a twist, we're just going to draw our right shoulder a little bit closer to our knees and open up through the left side of the chest. Now if you have that block handy, you can put it underneath your left arm if you don't have the flexibility and your shoulder doesn't rest on the floor, which mine does not. And go ahead and close your eyes for a few breaths here. And just check into the body. Notice if it's talking to you. Anything that feels good or bad. Maybe you feel a little tightness in the back. Take a couple of breaths and just see if it can slowly smooth out. Take a few more breaths here, letting your body relax into the twist. Twists are so good. They start to clean out toxins. They wring out your major organs. Feels really good if you've been doing yard work, if you've been weed whacking. And then hugging in that belly, letting the toes come to the ground and roll yourself back to center. And if you're using that block, you can switch it to the opposite side. Hugging the knees again, find a gentle rock from side to side. Just a couple times. And then when you're ready, you're just going to drop those knees to the left. And then let that left shoulder kind of sneak towards the knees a little bit more and then open up through the right. And if you need a little more stretch, you can always bring your left hand and rest it on top of your right knee and just gently tug it towards you. We're not trying to pull anything. We don't want any crunching. We don't want any overextension. So if anything truly feels uncomfortable, please make yourself, please adjust. Take a few more breaths here. And then when you're ready, engage the belly and roll yourself to center. Hug those knees in, find a gentle rock from side to side, and then maybe find a couple of big circles with those knees too as you're rocking side to side. One direction and then the other. Good. Go ahead and make your way into your Shavasana, stretching the legs out, patting what needs to be padded, making yourself as absolutely comfortable as you can. Hands can be by the sides or on the belly. Maybe one hand rests on the heart, one rests on the belly. It's your choice. And then once you find the space where you can relax, close the eyes if that's comfortable, or gaze upwards. And then bring your awareness to your breath. And just kind of notice if it's different than when you began your practice. Maybe your heart's beating a little bit quicker. Maybe the breath feels easier or deeper. And then using your breath as this kind of little compass, see if you can bring your body and awareness to a place of stillness. Letting each and every body part melt towards the earth, feeling heavier and heavier with each breath. Letting your worries dissipate. The only thing you need is to be right here, right now. Let every being, or every fiber of your being, release. Slowly begin to engage with the breath a little deeper. Start to find gentle movement in the fingers and the toes. And then when you're ready, rolling to one side, maybe taking a few breaths. And then we'll all meet back in an upright seated position. Bringing the hands to the heart space. Honoring yourself and your practice. Thank you so much for being a part of my day. And I hope the rest of your evening is wonderful. Namaste.